Hey guys, how you going? This is BillyEatWorld, and in this episode of Bootcamp, we're going to take a look at the 10 classes in Insurgency Sandstorm. Alright, so to get started, the most important class in this game is the one right at the top of the class's screen, the Commander, who's the only squad member that can call in supports. And as you can see, with this class you've got exclusive access to the binoculars, which can literally be game-changing as they can call in everything from artillery rounds to helicopter gunships. Bearing that in mind, obviously every squad is going to need a commander, but for their abilities to work, they're also going to need to be supported by an observer with a HQ radio close by. And so if you join a game and you see that no one's using the observer role, make sure you grab it first. You won't need to do anything special, just make sure you stick close to the commander and the radio will work on its own. Now, apart from the commander, the backbone of every squad in Insurgency is going to be its riflemen, who are equipped with fairly standard assault rifles and carbines. And what this means is that it's a really great role to pick, especially if you're new to the game, because it's probably the role with the least amount of responsibility, and all of its weapons are fairly easy to use. On the other hand, if you're after a bit more of a challenge, the Advisor kit is kind of like a rifleman, except they've got access to some of the more exotic weapons, and in the case of the Insurgent Advisor, the SVD Marksman rifle. And so if what you really want is a class that can run and gun and cap objectives, but you also want the flexibility to reach out a little bit further as well, then this is probably going to be the kit for you. Now, speaking of long-range gunfights, well, most FPS games have got a sniper class, and in Sandstorm, it's the Marksman kit, which has got access to the bolt-action rifles and the DMRs. And obviously, with this class, you want to play a little bit more defensively and try and pick off enemies from a distance, which is actually pretty easy to do considering you'll be dropping targets in usually 1 or 2 shots. On the other hand though, if you're the kind of player who prefers a more aggressive approach, well, the class that dominates in CQB is the Breacher, which has access to the shotguns and the SMGs. And for this class, mobility is your biggest advantage, especially if you strip off that heavy armor and all that extra gear and use stealth and speed to get the edge on enemy players. But finally, the last 2 roles that we're going to take a look at are Sandstorm support classes, the first being the Gunner, which is the only class with access to the machine guns. And despite the extra weight of these weapons, this class can single-handedly win games, because if you can position yourself overlooking an objective, you can gun down whole enemy teams before they can react. And finally, to finish up, every FPS game needs a class with launchers and explosives, and in Sandstorm, that role belongs to the Demolitions kit, which not only has access to the rocket launchers, but also underbarrel grenade launchers and a range of unique explosives. But anyway guys, that's all 10 classes in Insurgency Sandstorm, so hopefully you understand a little bit more now about how they work. Make sure you stay tuned for more bootcamp videos coming very soon, and as always, see you later and have a good one.